morning, Teahive movie nighters, and thank you so much for joining me for this particular story. Now, Real Housewives of New York has plenty of fans, but now Heather Thomson is now saying that the storylines are fake and forced. As Heather Thomson posed for a post photographer outside Bond ST restaurant, a fan came up and said, "Oh my God, are you Heather from the Housewives?" Thomson smiled and happily posed for a selfie with the fan, but she made it clear to the post that she, quote, has reached the end of the road with the Housewives of New York. She said, "I went to the show because producers say they want to empower women, but at the end of the day, they actually do the total reverse of that. They're showing women behaving badly and at each other's throats." In an exclusive interview, Thomson insists that she can no longer be a part of the machine that rewards that type of behavior or the scenes that she says are allegedly fake. She also claimed that she watched as castmate Ramona, who's now 64 years old, made racist comments that led Bravo to put on a Real Housewives of New York reunion on ice. She basically says that Ramona's racist allegations and racist comments cost the series their reunion. A production source previously told Page 6 that Ramona said, "This is why we shouldn't have black people on the show," in reference to Ebony K. Williams after Luann Desceps kicked Williams out of her home. Ramona Singer has denied making these comments and called it a terrible lie. However, Thomson told the Post, "I was there and I heard Ramona say that and I freaked out." Bravo said there was an investigation. To my knowledge, they never offered or required unconscious bias or sensitivity training to the cast or producers on the show ever. I was never asked. Do they know and care about the effects that the show has? It's nonsense. They're just interested in people. They're just interested in money. Excuse me. She said they are not interested in people. They're just interested in money. Let me clear that up. A spokesperson for Bravo had no comment into this story. Asked whether she believed Ramona Singer has an issue with people of diversity, she said, "What do you think?" Thomson started burning her bridges when she claimed in a new book, All Diamonds, Not All Diamonds and Rosé is the name of the book. Not All Diamonds and Rosé, the inside story of the Real Housewives from the People Who Lived It by Dave Quinn, that co-star Sonja Morgan allowed men to put cigarettes out on her vagina for fun. Morgan then posted on social media, "Liar, liar, pants on fire," while other housewives claimed they didn't believe the story. I find that story a little hard to believe only because it sounds like it'll be very painful and damaging, just saying. Then a video surfaced with Morgan and $1 Million Listing star Josh Flagg talking about the night when Flagg stuck a cigarette up her vagina, which I'm not sure was trolling or not, to be honest, you guys. "I wasn't telling a secret," Thomas told the Post. "It was this thing that they were into for a while. I wasn't dropping tea in that book. I was talking about something that was public knowledge." Flagg denied the story as well and recently told Juicy Scoop podcast that it was all a joke and that Heather Thomson is full of shit. But Thomson is standing by her story, saying that she heard that Morgan was working on what Thomson calls a dark cabaret show in the book, and which another show insider compared to the girly shows in Bangkok, which we all know how that goes. But Thomson said she was shocked when she and her husband, Jonathan Schindler, ran into Morgan and Flagg at the Boom Boom Room and Manhattan Standard Hotel in 2014. She said, "I saw them together and I saw that she had been drinking and I was keeping an eye on her," Thomson said. "Moments later, I was like, wait, where is Sonja Morgan?" She found Morgan and Flagg on the roof deck. "They were about to show another man the trick they do," Thomson said of the illicit cigarette trick. When she asked what Morgan and Flagg were doing, she added, "They told her, yeah, we'll show you. We make it smoke." "This is not Moulin Rouge," Thomson said, persuading Morgan to leave with her. "This guy Flagg is not your friend, and I took her home is what I did. I did what I thought was right, and that was to remove her from the situation," she says. Thomson also noted that she had alerted Real Housewives of New York producers that she was worried about Sonja Morgan's drinking, as the other cast members have also said as well. I absolutely did talk to production when I had concerns that it was getting out of hand and it was dangerous. It was difficult to work with and to witness, and I got no response from them, really. It was one of the many times that she said that she and the production did not see eye to eye. A native New Yorker, Thomson worked for many years as a fashion designer, creating clotheslines for Beyonce, Sean Combs, and Jennifer Lopez. But after her son Jax was born in 2004 with pneumonia and needed a liver transplant at 6 months old, she let herself go just a little bit. She said, I went to buy shapewear and I was a little bit disappointed at my choices. So, like any good designer would do, I took matters into my own hands. She started to launch her own line, and when she got a call out the blue from the Real Housewives of New York casting director in 2011, a former employee had recommended her, but she said she was clueless. She said, I misunderstood what they were asking me at first. I thought that they wanted me to put my brand on The Apprentice. They were like, no, 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 no. It's the Real Housewife of New York. I said, oh my gosh, hell no, I'm not a housewife. And I said, that's exactly... And she said, that's exactly why we're calling. She said they called her because she was not a housewife, which is indicative of many of the things that we see here on social media and on the show today. These women are not necessarily wives or wives in ruins. I was like, ding, 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 marketing opportunity. I knew that the benefit of appearing on the show would be great exposure for my shapewear brand. But when she told people she was joining for season 5, some people were horrified. I do have friends that were like, oh, no, don't do that, she recalled. She added that production also lured her in with claims that they were bringing a different caliber of women. She said, they told me we really want true New Yorkers, people who are running businesses really, moving and shaking. And we want to raise the bar. Who doesn't want to get involved in raising the bar, she said. But when she and fellow castmate newbie Carol Radziwill and Aviva Drescher showed up to meet the old-timers, Sonja Morgan, Luann, and Ramona, they were quickly put in their place. We were the freshmen. They were the seniors. Sometimes the cast thinks they know better than the producers, and they self-produce. No, you come over here. You sit there. I mean, I got bossed around a little bit. You can't talk about that. Don't say that. Don't say this. Definitely, there's a competition for camera time and who's going to have the best storyline. I still believed in myself. I'm like, I'm not going to embarrass myself on TV. I'm not going to do those things they wanted me to do. But I didn't think about the editing. I didn't think further into why does Bravo want this show? Is it because they really want to show nurturing female relationships, or do they want clickbait and shock value? One of the most upsetting incidents for Thomson was what she calls Morgan's fake engagement to Harry Dubin during season 12. In the episode, Thomson is seen comforting Luann Desceps, who was crying over a breakup with her boyfriend Jacques at the time. So she was comforting Luann Desceps, and Luann was breaking up with Jacques. Seconds later, Dubin proposes to Sonja Morgan. She says it was completely staged and totally fake. It was a ring that Ramona was wearing, and she took it off and gave it to Harry to pretend like it was his. It was one-upmanship. That was more important to the show than Luann Desceps' heartbreak. And I was incensed by it. The authenticity is missing. The women were self-producing, and many of the storylines were forced and contrived. Fake storylines with a ring that's pulled off somebody's finger 2 seconds before, borrowed to make this fake engagement. And then she was invited back as a friend of the show in season 13, which ended in September. She said, quote, I went back saying no judgment. I wanted to have a clean slate, but I'm the one that was the fool. There was some camaraderie when I first joined the cast, and when I came back, there was no camaraderie. It was everybody out for themselves. I only filmed for 1 week. It was at Ramona's house in the Hamptons. They put me in the basement. I was by myself, and I was ambushed. They told me in the car for 2 hours, they told me that I would be great, but they held me for 2 hours while the other women got dressed and ready for the party. She claimed that the storyline had been cooked up, quote, about her and her I'm in My Heart podcast. that had talked behind the women's back or something like that, which was completely untrue. Thomas hit the headlines in June for her own issues with Williams, the show's first black cast member, when Ebony Williams said that Thomson did more harm than good by wadding into the conversation between Ebony Williams and Luann Lesseps about race. Williams accused Thomson of white-splaining and attempting to be an unwanted translator, for adding that Thomson was guilty of microaggression and patronizing her articulation. When I really feel like she was just trying to help Heather Thomson. I really feel like she was just trying to help. But I understand, you know, sometimes as African-American women, we feel like we want to explain it ourselves. We don't need a translator from black to white, right? Okay. As the incident spilled over into social media, Thomson said, quote, "It forced me to start asking myself tough questions, owning up to my mistakes, privately and publicly apologizing. I know many people still do not have an understanding of what microaggression is or how to handle the mistake of making one. Nevertheless, I had to be accountable for myself and formulate a plan of action to take what I learned to be a part of uniting versus further dividing people." Be a part of uniting versus further dividing people. She asked that she was also empathetic for the women of the various Housewives franchises. She said, generally speaking, the women that join the show are not self-absorbed. They're not catty or horrible people. They're birds in gilded cages. They go in with the right intention, but you get sucked into a system of what the viewers want. These women are part of a machine that has awarded them and fed them for outrageous behavior. It's a career. It's their check, and they don't have other jobs outside of it. And so you do become a product of the environment or whatever the fan is looking for. Let's be honest. Watching women behave well and doing great things for each other isn't must-see TV. And to that end, she blames the audience as well as the cast. She said, you can't really talk about people without talking about the system. Everyone has culpability in this. The viewers, the network, the women on the show, we're all complicit. These days, Thomson, now a certified integrative health coach, is focused on her latest business ventures, Beyond Fresh, and a line of organic supplements. She claims that this will be her final interview about the Real Housewives of New York. She said, after this, I will never talk about the Real Housewives again, period. That chapter of my life is closed. Everybody knows what they need to know, and I'm moving on. Good luck and goodbye. Well, Heather Thomson, thank you so much for that interview, because I suppose that was something that we needed to hear as far as, you know, a finale from you. You could have very well gone on and not spoken about it, but instead you decided to give us your final word, and I truly do appreciate it. Guys, I'm sorry for stumbling past any parts of her interview. I just wanted to make sure that I was not misreading, and if I did stumble, that I go back and reread it. And this is raw audio, so again, please excuse me for that. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hey guys, yep, it's that time of year again, and I'm feeling it. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, then Hanukkah, boom, we're in it. It's full-on holiday mode, and we know of all the years, this is the one we've got to get a jump on. And so, to help you get started, I am very excited to announce the release of my 2021 holiday gift guide on heatherthomson.com. This year, it's all about supporting hardworking entrepreneurs and family-owned businesses. Be thoughtful about what you're giving and why, and be sure to take some time for yourself too. This holiday season, let's simply celebrate getting together safely with family and friends, and the very gift of that togetherness and community. Don't wait another minute. Head over to my community at heatherthomson.com to check out all the great gifts with plenty of discounts and incentives to shop. And as always, stay tuned to me here on social media, because you know I love a good giveaway, and they're coming up, that's for sure. Until then, happy holidays. We'll see you soon.